All right, welcome to Steelers Rewind. It's the first episode ever. This is JT, and I'm bringing in right now the my cohort during this is Philip Clark of Clark Travel. Philip, who would have thought 34-32 against the New York Jets? I mean, if people say they thought it was going to be high scoring, I think they're full of it because I mean I thought if anything the Steelers might put up maybe 24, 27 points. Crazy game for week one. Are you
I'm shaking
going?
my head still about that game.
That's
To be honest with
unbelievable,
you,
man.
John, I didn't expect the Jets to come out in all cylinders, and they did. Um, Everybody expected a blowout. I expected a blowout. I think I even sent you a text yesterday saying 31-13 Steelers. I was almost correct with the Steelers score, but not the Jets.
Yeah, I think I meant as a total 60. I mean 66 points. I don't think anybody saw that coming. It was and the announcers kept saying it as well. It was a great game. I mean, it might not have felt that way as a Steeler fan because you're almost like looking at the negatives while you're looking at the positives, and sometimes the negatives outweigh the positives. But let's jump in. What was one of the things that you really liked about yesterday's game?
Aaron Rodgers' performance. A lot of people had written him off. I understand he's 41 years old. He didn't give the impression he wanted to come back and play the game again. And however, when he signed with the Steelers, he was fully committed, and he just he was very impressive yesterday. Very
Yeah,
impressive.
you showed me the you sent me a little text today with the I guess the front page of the New York paper, and it was hysterical. But he did impress me. He impressed me too. Because the offensive line was not where I would have liked to seen him,
No,
and a couple throws he made just showed his like the veteran, like his first completion, the Fryermuth, the sidearm. I just thought that was he did the things that he had to do.
yeah,
Um, I agree with you, man. I'll preface this by saying going into the offseason, I wanted Justin Fields. I was the guy that I really
sure.
wanted Fields. I thought that hey, the Steelers, let's give this guy 2-3 years and let him just see what he's got. If he doesn't got it, then oh well. I still don't like the 1 year stopgap, but and it's a big but if the defense and the offensive line get better, which I hope they do, and I think they will. Um, what's saying this team can't win 12 games, 11 games? I mean, they don't. Their schedule is not really bad this year. It's not. I mean, you got Seattle coming this week. I think we match up really well in this game. I think, and the other thing we should tell people out there is week one, man. Week one is, I mean, Aaron Rodgers wasn't even under center in a live game until yesterday. So I mean, week
Right.
one, you take what you want. Look at like Matthew Stafford played for the first time yesterday for the Rams under center for the first time. So I mean, you got to take what you could take from week one, but there's a lot of stuff that's going to improve. And let's go into that. Let's stick with the offense. Were you shocked? And I know I was. Were you shocked at the number of plays that Kenneth Gainwell was used?
I was. I didn't expect him to be a big part of the offense. Yeah, but when you look at the numbers, unfortunately, he wasn't very impressive. I'll attribute that probably to the offensive line. I thought the offensive line, to be honest with you, was played very, very poorly yesterday, and that's one of the reasons why I think Aaron Rodgers and his performance was so great because he wasn't getting the protection. I think he was sacked 4 times, and I didn't think the Steelers were going to win that game yesterday. I really didn't. Going into the third quarter, and when the Jets scored again, I believe it was a touchdown pass to number 5. What's his last name? Drawing a blank. Sorry.
Garrett Wilson.
Yes, thanks, Garrett Wilson. At that point, I didn't think the Steelers had it in them to finish that game out. And it was because of both sides of the ball, the offensive line and the defensive line.
Anybody out there too have any questions or want to give your opinions? Please feel free to jump into the comments we'll discuss whatever you're thinking as well. Um, I agree. I actually make this comment, and I always seem to giggle and make this comment once. It seems like once a game, but we are one of the luckiest football teams, um, for all the time. We always make the defense, and this time it was special teams. Always seems to make that one play, man. I mean, you can even say that the Jalen Ramsey play at the end was another one of them. Like it's just a freak hit, and the guy Garrett Wilson dropped the ball. But that fumble, the by what's his name, Kenneth Gainwell when he stripped the ball on the kickoff. That was the turning point of the game. I mean, we scored two touchdowns in 50 seconds because of
Right,
that. I mean, that's
right.
the play. That's the game right there. I mean, that literally was the game.
I agree, and they capitalized on those points too. That got me very excited. I think it got all Steelers Nation very excited. They needed that splash play. There wasn't a splash play yet in that game, and then it happened on the kickoff return. And thank God Skoranek was there to recover the fumble. I don't think there was anyone near him when he recovered that. So they were at the right place at the right time on the field, for that fumble.
Yeah, and Ben Skoranek, man, he made his statement, a touchdown catch, recovered the fumble,
Yes,
and the special teams looked really bad up until that point. I mean,
right.
Gibson almost broke a couple of them, and it was just a freak play. But it just seems like the Steelers. I mean, how many times in the past we see a team driving down like you're like, oh, here we go, then a TJ Watt strip fumble or a pick. So this team to me has always seemed like I can actually sort of. I've been a Steeler fan 51 years, but I could sort of see why people would hate the Steelers, man. Because there's games where there's so many games where we are beat. I mean, I had that feeling too. I didn't really have that 100% we were going to lose. I sort of had that in the back of my mind, like, all right, here. I was thinking, here comes a strip fumble, or you know. But I give Justin Fields a lot of credit, man. There was a lot of times that he should have been sacked, and the kid keeps his head up, and I'll tell you what, I was very impressed with what he did, and with his arm strength.
I can think of two plays where he should have been sacked. Don't know how he evaded that pass rush, or both pass rushes, I should say, and I think he made some plays out of them too. Justin Fields was very impressive yesterday. We talked about this before we were on. I really want to see him do well this year, and I want to see Aaron Glenn, first time ever head coach, was a heck of a football player back in the 90s for the Jets.
Yep.
I want to see him do well. I'm very impressed with him. I think he has this team where they need to be, because the Jets were a laughing stock last year.
Mm-hmm.
And in all the preseason pundits talking about the Jets, they were written off already. One of them even said he wasn't sure if Justin Fields even had a right arm, but he
Oh,
showed yesterday that he has it, and
oh,
he was extremely impressive.
there's a couple throws he made over in the middle that I actually, watching it live, I'm like, how did we not intercept it? I mean, there was like
Right.
Steelers right there. I mean, his arm strength. I think it's more of, at least from what I've gathered, is his arm strength is there, just as the accuracy. But the accuracy yesterday, he was doing it on the run. I love the way he can run. I mean, and you brought up a good point about Aaron Glenn. Is I've seen a couple coaches this weekend that I'm really impressed with, and I'm going to start with even Schottenheimer from Dallas. I thought the Dallas Cowboys looked different than they normally do. They looked a little bit more, they looked like they were together and not just walking around on the sidelines and just I thought McCarthy was a joke towards the end of the run in Dallas. I know he's a Pittsburgh boy, so I might get a little slack, but
I have my
I
opinions about the Dallas Cowboys, and I just think that Jerry Jones is way too involved. And I think he likes to hire coaches he thinks that he can control. To be honest with you, he's a control freak. But I'm glad you brought up Schottenheimer, because, again, that was another game I thought was going to be a complete blowout. And the Cowboys hung in there. They actually, based on Jalen Warren spitting on Dak Prescott, gave them great field percentage. And they marched in and scored right away, and they really held on very strongly against the Eagles, and I'll give Schottenheimer a lot of credit for that.
and you had a Freudian slip. You mean Jalen Carter, because Jalen
I did
Warren.
that, on Facebook. I think I even called him Abdul Carter, And I had a lot of my friends say, no, it's Jalen Carter, So yes, I messed up. I'm sorry with the
Oh, that's all right.
confusion.
I
And
was talking about Jalen Warren to
I'm
say
glad you got
I
it.
wasn't there, but no, that's I do the same thing all the time. There's so many names in the game, but one of the things we talked about the quarterback, we talked about the running back. So the running backs, I think they got to get used to maybe rotating them into not. And you were right. We talked about this off the air. Caleb Johnson fumbled that kick return, even though we got it back. He didn't really see the field too much after,
No,
if he did see it at all.
no,
Jalen Warren had a couple nice runs in the second half where he looked like the old Jalen Warren we're used to.
yes,
Don't forget either, people, that why couldn't the Steelers do this and that? The Jets defensive line, Quinnen Williams is no joke. I mean,
no,
this guy is a beast. I mean, he's up there with the Jalen Carters of the world to take over as like take the take the ring off of Aaron Donald as the best defensive tackle in the game. So there was some very good. Jets have very good defense, and that's even in the secondary with Sauce Gardner. I mean, the Jets have a nice team. They're a good young team. So, and with the
yeah,
right coaching and I think they'll be fine. But to get off the Jets and go to the Steelers once more, the offensive line I was a little worried about going into this, and man, Will McDonald made us look bad. I mean,
yeah,
and they kept showing a couple different plays. Oh, spin move, but I mean, come on, guys. I think Will McDonald had a sack from almost every different spot on the team. I know he came up the middle to one time. I'm not blaming Zach Frazier because I think it was like an all-out blitz up the middle. But um, Aaron Rodgers didn't have a lot of time. There was the one play where he actually faked the handoff, turned around, and he already got hit. I mean, there was
right,
nothing you could do on that. And then
right.
me and my buddy offline, my buddy's like, "Oh, the offensive line ain't doing that bad." I'm like, "Come on, man, that's."
No, they
He was
didn't play
getting hit.
well at all. And we have to worry about the left tackle going back to his original position. He didn't do anything. I mean, he had whoever he was facing was rolling off him without any problem at all whatsoever. There's just got to be a lot of retooling this week. He's got to make sure that he's in proper position and that he has the right technique, to make sure that he's protecting Rodgers, and quite frankly, if they're going to be running, if they have Warren running left, he's got to clear that hole, that C gap, to give him the room that he's going to need. I didn't really notice too much with the rest of the line, although again, as a unit, they didn't play well, but everybody's going to be pointing at Broderick Jones. He's got to step it up.
The one good thing I did like, and I don't know if I mean, you never know what's going on the sideline, but it seemed like Aaron Rodgers didn't. There was a couple of plays in a row. Like I think it was like the one drive. It was like two or three plays in a row he was getting hit, but he didn't seem to. He didn't seem to like wig out on his offensive line, get all
No,
upset, get in their face or nothing. I'm hoping, and this is the one thing I was worried about with Aaron Rodgers. I'm hoping he keeps his even keel because the guy can throw a football. I don't care if he's 41 or 21. The
yes,
guy can
yes, he
throw
can.
a football, and he's very smart. I mean, you're going to get, 20 to 25 touchdowns, and you're going to get maybe 8 to 12 interceptions. Like last year he was 22. He had 22 touchdowns or 25 touchdowns last year with the Jets.
Yes, yes, he did.
His numbers last year were really good. I mean, for a team that they didn't win, they won 5 games. So we like the quarterback play. The running back, we sort of have a question mark maybe. I thought Warren ended up with 11 for 37. Not a lot of carries. Close to 4 yards a carry, not quite. Um,
The one thing too, John, these guys, most of these guys didn't play in the preseason, okay?
yeah,
And you can say the same about the rest of the teams in the NFL. So this was almost like a preseason game to a certain degree, but they're playing, the entire game. So my benchmark is the first 4 games in. Back, especially when it used to be a 16-game season, it broke them down in quarters
mhm.
and kind of like a fiscal year. But I would say certainly that these next 3 games will show us what the Pittsburgh Steelers are, who they are, and how far they can possibly go into the rest of the season. So there's going to
I
be some
agree.
retooling this week. There's going to be practice. I'm sure is going to be very tough. They're watching a lot of film, as they should be doing, and I think they're going to be better prepared next week against Seattle.
I believe so too. Let's get into the last positions on the offense before we go to the
Yeah,
defenses. The wide receivers made no sense to me. I mean, I thought we're all starting to see now, man. DK Metcalf is the guy you want for them quick
right.
screens, because man, that move he made down the sideline, that guy is a freak of nature with his
He's
height
something
and
else.
his speed and his body. Um, but the two receivers that did the most in preseason that everybody was high on was Roman Wilson and Scotty Miller. They did not play. They barely played. I mean, I think I saw for the first time, third quarter, I saw Roman Wilson break the huddle, and I was like, oh, there he is. I thought maybe
Yeah, right.
don't get why Skoranek was thrown in there. Maybe it's just the way, I don't, maybe a hunch they had,
It was
or
a trick play of some type, maybe, because you think about the Jets D, they see Skoranek out there. They don't have much film on him. They
no.
don't know what he's going to do, and I don't know that he was paid attention to, because he had a lot of room around him whenever he caught that pass, the touchdown pass. So it was a great play. It was well executed. He ran a great route. The timing was perfect with the throw. So I was happy that they put him out there for that.
And Calvin Austin looked good. I mean, he
He
looked good at
did.
the beginning of last year too. So I'm hoping with his speed, and then you got Metcalf. I mean, I'm hoping Roman. I'm a Michigan guy. I love Michigan. And Roman
Yeah.
Wilson's a guy that I loved him coming out of school. I'm hoping, and I heard about, saw him in preseason. I'm like, man, this guy could be a legit. That's your number. That could be your number two with Austin as your three. Um, the Getting into the tight ends, I thought Fryermuth had his normal game, but I
Yep.
love the fact how they used Johnny Smith. Johnny Smith seems like a
Yeah.
guy. There was a couple times where I thought Rogers was going down, and Johnny Smith was like a guy that was. It's almost like another running back hanging around there, but a bigger guy that has good. He showed his hands off too, a couple nice catches like behind him and stuff. So I like the way they're doing that. You saw Washington on some blocking downs, which I saw Washington get
Yes.
beat. Saw him get beat as well a couple times on. But like we said, it's week one, people, so you can't. You don't want to fire the coach yet. You don't want to say, all right, we got to get rid of the running back. We got to do this. You got to give these guys time, because I mean, one
Right.
week of football. Look at the Detroit Lions, man. I mean, if you're looking at 1 week and want to get rid of them, I mean, Dan Campbell to me is one of the best coaches in football, and I think they're a team that's going to take about 3 or 4 weeks before you see
Right.
their real selves.
Right.
But let's go
I
to
think
this
it's
spot
safe to
now.
say. I think it's safe to say, John. I'm sorry
No,
to
no.
jump in here. I think it's safe to say, as I said earlier, that there's a new trend in the NFL. You're getting number one. You have 3 preseason games. You're not putting your veterans out there. You're testing out your rookies and your free agent pickups and everything. And you're going to see in week one and even in week two that these teams have not gelled yet. They're not there yet. And I'm speaking on behalf of the entire NFL, with the exception of maybe the Ravens and the Bills, the way they played last night.
Huh.
That game was just nuts. One of the best games I've seen in a long time. But with everything said, I do believe that we need to look at these first 2 games, go into week 3 against the Patriots and see where they're at. And then they have to go to Dublin to play the Vikings. So it's almost like, and I'm probably very wrong when I say this, it's almost like the first 4 games of the season are your preseason, but not your preseason. You're showing what you have, all teams in the NFL, and then when you get into the 5th game for each team, that's where we're going to see how the NFL is going to pan out this year, how the standings are going to pan out, how these teams are going to perform. I hope I'm making sense when I say that.
That makes sense. And the other thing you got to worry about, like, that's the first time Aaron Rodgers took hits since last year. How's his body gonna bounce back? Is he gonna?
He didn't look that
I
bad
mean,
yesterday. Yeah.
no, he didn't. But I mean, like, it's like one of them things though. Like, these guys have not. These guys' bodies, like these starters, have not played. I mean, it's a whole different.
No,
Now you gotta. So you're right. Like, your body ain't gonna even be in game shape till week 3 or 4. You're
no,
used to
none of
getting
them.
hit and getting up. So I agree with you. I thought the only other team besides Baltimore and Buffalo that I watched that looked totally rocking and rolling was Green Bay, man. I mean, they
Yeah,
look good, and
yeah.
Jordan Love looked good. They showed me a lot against Detroit. I thought it was like gonna be a bunch of hype because of Micah Parsons kind of thing. They wouldn't be a letdown, but they didn't let down.
No.
Before we go on, Philip, talk about Clark Travel. You're a sponsor for today. Talk to people what you can do. And you already mentioned the Dublin trip.
I'm still booking trips for Dublin, believe it or not. Um, there's apparently still tickets to be had. I don't know the sites. I don't have, a place to direct anybody, but I'm working with this young couple right now. It looks like they're going to be able to score their tickets, and I'm getting them booked throughout the country because they're going to be touring. Atlanta and Dublin are going to be going down to Cork. They're going to be going to Killarney. They're going to be going to Galway and back to Dublin. And then after the game, they're going to be going north of Dublin up into County Meath. And they're going to be seeing a good part of the country. They'll be there for the game. We were talking about Minnesota being a good team earlier. They're playing right now tonight. That's going to be a heck of a game. And Croke Park, again, seats 82,500 people.
Oh,
So Dublin is going to be rocking and rolling that weekend, and there is still availability for hotels. Maybe not right in Dublin city center, but there are numerous other places to stay, and it's not that far from Dublin city center. So I recommend, if any of you are still thinking about heading over to Dublin, give me a call. My Facebook account is Clark Travel, and all my contact information is right there. And of course, I can book you on anything else. Right now, all inclusives are looking really, really good as far as pricing is concerned going into December after Thanksgiving break before Christmas. I know maybe not a lot of people travel, but if you're looking for a quick getaway, not too far into the Caribbean, there are some great prices. So anywhere you think you want to go, definitely get in touch with me. I will hook you up and send you wherever you want to go.
yeah, guys, do that. Get a hold of Philip. He's one of our great advertisers. And now Philip's jumping on. We're gonna do this week to week. The only time we won't be doing this on a Monday night, of course, is they play Monday night. We're not gonna do this during a Monday night game, but keep up with us. We're gonna talk about the team all year long. And real fast before we go on to the defense, down below is our YouTube at Sports Survival. It's www.youtube.com/@sportssurvival24. Jump on there and subscribe. Once we get to the 500 people, we're giving away a Hines Ward autographed jersey from the Gotham Knights. It's where he played for the Gotham team. And there's from the Dark Knight movie, the Batman movie. So sign up, just subscribe. It's free. You got nothing to lose. You can win a jersey. So do that. And once again, if you get on sportsbible.com, you'll see we got clothing, we got hats, we got a little bit of everything. Sports Bible's doing a bunch of stuff right now. We got books coming out. We're doing a little bit of everything right now. So it's a good time to jump on board with Sports Bible right now.
Can I say something about your website, John?
Oh, go ahead.
John's an excellent writer, folks. He writes feature pieces. He covers games. John's writing. He's very insightful. He is at the newspaper tier of writing without question. And I'm very proud of the work that John is doing. So I highly recommend that you go to sportsbible.com and read everything he's writing about. This gentleman right here knows what he's talking about. He's very, very good.
I appreciate that, man. I do.
You really are.
It's a passion. It's not even. It's just something I need to do. It's like I can't come home and not do it. So,
Can I also say with the advent of today's technology, maybe advent's not even the right word. How today's technology has evolved. We are all members of the media, and everybody has an opportunity to have a podcast. Everybody has an opportunity to write about sports or to write about travel or to write about anything else that is passionate to them, as you said, the word passion. So, and if you have the skill set, definitely do it. And John, you're doing a great job of it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Philip. Let's go into. And I made this statement during the game on Facebook, and people agreed, of course, because when the Steelers are losing, people agree anytime you put them down. But I put a statement saying this is the highest paid defense in the league. I think maybe we overpaid. which I exaggerate to a point. I mean, I think we have a lot of talent on defense, but man, and if you go by last year at the end of the year, and then what Brees Hall just did to us yesterday, I don't know if the Steelers have a game plan to stop the run, and that's sort of a scary thing. I mean, I know Cam Hayward's a veteran that really didn't he didn't really do nothing because he was
No,
he and then
he
hauling
didn't.
about his money until he got his money. So I think once he gets going, I think that helps out a little bit.
Right.
But um, the defense was worrisome, man. I thought we put, I guess the one side we could look at, we did put pressure on Justin Fields and a normal quarterback, and by normal I mean Sam Darnold this week. A normal quarterback that drops back, I think we get 5, 6 sacks. I mean, I think that
Right.
the way we had some pressure, I think Justin Fields just he was like a magician backer getting out of the blitzes and stuff. But what did you like from the defense, if anything?
That's a hard question to answer because I wasn't impressed with the defense yesterday, except for T.J. Watt, because he was making some noise in the first half of the game. He was the only name I wrote down, aside from at the end when Jalen Ramsey,
Yeah, that was big.
had a big play to cap off the first half, and he and again number 5 Garrett Williams, they were jawing at it the entire game. And you're talking about a young wide receiver going up against a seasoned veteran who is just outstanding in his position and can play almost any position in the backfield. And Ramsey had his last laugh at the end of the game when he had that perfect hit on him. We're talking head down,
Oh
bone
yeah.
crushing into his rib cage. The ball didn't just fall down; it popped out, and that reminded me of the 1970s Pittsburgh Steelers, the way they played and the way they attacked and the way they hit back then. That was old school, and I loved it. And it was at
And
the end of the game, which made that game great because that was a crescendo. That
and
was
don't
that
for,
was the perfect part of the game,
and
the
don't
perfect part to end the game.
and don't forget he did 2 plays in a row. The play before that he was the guy that broke up the pass. He
Yes,
got
that's
his
right.
hand in there. So I mean
Yes,
that was big that last hit. I mean you're right. I mean the announcer even said he caught it. Oh, it's a catch. Oh no, it's he called it a catch at first, and then the ball popped out because
he
he
catches that
thrilled
ball.
him.
That's the first down.
Oh yeah, I mean, and,
You
and,
know.
uh, I mean, and Nick Folk ain't the greatest kicker, but he's got a big leg. So I mean, anytime
Yeah.
you don't want the kick, you don't want a guy having a chance to beat you on a field goal. And
No, you
let's go
don't.
into that real fast. We didn't get to talk about the goat of the team. Sorry, T.J. Watt. I love what you do, but Chris Boswell is this
Oh,
team's MVP. I mean, this guy is as automatic as I've ever seen. And I actually made a statement yesterday, and I sort of felt weird saying it, but he may be the best kicker I've ever witnessed in my lifetime. And I'm being dead honest when I say that. I mean, if you take away his second season, where people in Pittsburgh, of course, were like, get rid of him. He had a rough year. He had to miss extra points. He missed some field goals. This guy is
right.
about, and I used to think Gary Anderson, I was a little young kid. I thought Gary Anderson was automatic and all this. But I
He
mean,
was. He was great.
Chris Boswell, he kicked that ball 60 yards, and I think it could have went 64, 65, and it was dead.
68 is
I'm
what I
talking
heard.
60, and it
Yeah.
was dead center. I mean, it was literally
Yes.
dead center to the point where, like, I don't know if you had the same thing. The background of that field was hard to pick up the ball where the ball was going up. You know what I mean? Like, it was hard to see the ball go through the goalpost, like the way the background was
I
in
agree.
that
I was
stadium.
wondering where the ball was too in the air after he kicked it.
Somebody kicked it, and
I
I
was
saw the
relying on the
replay.
announcers to say, "Hey, it's looking good. It's looking good. It's getting there." And when he made it, I just was absolutely amazed, like everybody else was.
I think
Phenomenal.
the guy is honestly. I mean, I thought Justin Tucker there for a couple of years. Of course, Tucker ain't in the league anymore.
No.
Um, but last year Tucker was in the league and missed a bunch of field goals. And I mean, Boswell last year was. I mean, he's literally. I've never seen a kicker, and he kicks outside. He's not a guy like. He's not like how not Mason Crosby, but a guy that was kicking in domes his whole career, like a Morton Anderson for
Right.
for New Orleans that had never had to worry about wind or nothing except on the road.
Right.
This guy is kicking in Acrisure Field, which I'm gonna also make the statement that Chris Boswell and Ben Sauls last year, because I got to go to all the Pitt games, Pitt football. He kicked for Pitt while Boswell was kicking for the Steelers. It was the most amazing kicking show I've ever seen in my life because Boswell was hitting 55-yarders at Acrisure, and Ben Sauls was kicking 55-yarders at Pitt. And of course, Ben Sauls played exhibition for the Steelers and looked really good as well. So,
I don't know if anyone's picked him up yet.
no,
I
I
have a
find that
feeling
hard to
Atlanta
believe.
might be what's that?
I find that hard to believe that he hasn't.
Well, I think Atlanta might be picking him up because their kicker missed a couple yesterday. They could have won the game. He didn't perform at all indoors. Mercedes-Benz Dome. He might be on his way out, and Ben Sauls very well could be playing for the Falcons.
I mean, Buffalo won their game with Matt Prater, who just got basically signed late in the day. I mean, that was weird. They didn't. So, before we go, we're at the 31-minute mark. We're going to get going here real quick. Seattle next week. You got Sam Darnold, you got Jackson and Jingba. They only lost 17-13 last week to the Niners. Do you feel I don't feel like this is going to be a rough one for the Steelers, but I know it's so early in the year, so you never know. But I think the Steelers come out and play their game. I think they can they can handle the Seahawks this week.
Well, let's hope that the run defense steps up because their running back is very good. If he finds a hole, he's going. You're going to be relying on the secondary to take him down. So they really, really have to play a lot better and stop the run. And Darnold is a pocket quarterback. He's going to be sitting in the pocket. He doesn't have as much mobility as other quarterbacks who are in the pocket. And I do think that the Steelers have the opportunity to get a good 4 or 5 sacks, maybe, even get an interception or two. I'm expecting a lot more splash plays next week with the defense.
I agree. And they were actually led in rushing last week by Zach Charbonneau from Michigan, UCLA. He played both schools. He had 47. Kenneth Walker, those backers, well, he could break them. And then Jackson Smith-Njigba was their man. He had 9 catches, 124. And they do have Cooper Kupp as well. So the secondary is going to get tested. There's no doubt. So if the defense doesn't put pressure on them, they could be in a little bit of trouble. Plus, Seattle does have they have one of the best young secondaries in football. Witherspoon and Reek Woolen. They're both very good young cornerbacks. So I think the matchup's there, but I just think the Steelers have too much star power, and I think they should be able to roll on Seattle at a home game. It's a home game. The atmosphere is going to be unreal. It's going to be.
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to be a good Steeler win there. But Philip, thank you so much. So next Monday, guys, same time, 8:00, we'll be back to talk about hopefully a 2-0 start by the Steelers. Talk about the Seahawks game. Philip, I appreciate it once again.
Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, man. You're here for the year, brother. We got Clark Travel. Nice. Don't forget to get out there, get some. You want to travel, man? I mean, Steelers start keep winning, man. Get yourself booked for one of these away games late in the year, man.
Absolutely.
Get out of Pittsburgh. Yes. I mean, believe me, if I had the money and the time right now, I would love to be traveling with the team right now to play, go to different states.
I would never be home if that were the case.
That's true. Very true. But guys, thank you so much for listening in. www.sportsbible.com. Once again, check us out on the YouTube page. Just subscribe. It's free, and you have a chance to win a really nice Heinz Ward jersey. Philip, have a great one, brother.
You too, John. We'll be in touch. Thank you.